years about whether we should put all our effort into big system change, which often seems quite scary, or behaviour change, which people worry just won't be enough if you just change a few things in your own life. But I think now there's an increased understanding that these two things don't work separately. They work together, they interact. And that if you can get more of the kind of contagion effect from people making different choices in their own lives, you actually create a situation in which those bigger system changes become politically easier and more attractive options. One of the great characteristics of the climate crisis and the ecological crisis that we face is that it's very unequal in the way that it distributes its impacts, and it's unequal in an incredibly unfair way. That's to say that the people who are most vulnerable to climate upheaval and climate breakdown are the people who've made the smallest and the least contribution to creating the problem in the first place. So when we start thinking about where the change needs to happen, we need to think about some of those principles that were written into the very early days of the International Climate Agreement. And that's around equity and who should make the change first and foremost. So power, politics, and the justice dimensions of how we achieve system and behaviour change are fundamental. There's no shortage of evidence-based hope in our warming world. We've lived through a period in the last 12 to 18 months in which people have shown that they can put public health and well-being before their own short-term interests. Whether it's the way in which we travel around and we've cut down on unnecessary travel, or whether we've cut down on unnecessary consumption or made special provisions for the more vulnerable members of society so that they can go into shops when they need to and make sure that health workers have access to the goods that they need on a day-to-day basis. We've changed our behaviour patterns in order to prevent the spread of the pandemic. So I think if you look around at the moment, quite apart from the old cliche about people being selfish and competitive and individualistic, we've shown that we are incredibly cooperative and prepared to go through really profound changes for the benefit of everyone.